went to her.
You fight for what you
That's
want.
it.
You have to fight for what
So
you
you
want.
want a cheater. So that shows me that you want secondhand goods and you want a cheater. I don't want no cheater. I don't want you. If that's what you want and you having sex with her and you doing all this stuff with her, why do I want you? Why do I want a man who's not even a man? He's cheating and I'm going to fight for him. He's just going to do it again because I'm stupid, because I'm out there rolling on the ground fighting for him, scratching whatever cases, and I want him. What do I want about him? He's not loyal to me. Why do I want him? Tell me some qualities that I want out of a cheater. And he's got me out there instead of saying, listen, this is my wife. I don't want you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sticking with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, baby, let's go. And he
Mm-hmm.
takes me away.
Yeah.
But he wants me to stand there and fight. No. I
Mm-hmm.
will never degrade myself. And I say never. And I mean all capital letters with explanation points about 500 behind them, okay?
You are not fighting.
That ain't happening.
Yeah, yeah. But
I
unfortunately,
don't even think
where
a
we come
man
from,
wants to see a woman doing that. I
exactly,
really, I'm not
exactly.
being funny, but I don't even, a real man
Mm-hmm.
would not have his wife, especially you got children, you have a family,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
to fight and do something. You want him that bad, then that shows me something wrong with you. Because a
Huh.
penis ain't that good that I'm going to be out there rolling in the ground, fighting and degrading myself over that. There's too many. If I'm married, then that relationship that we had was sacred, and you broke that bond.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I'm
All
not
right,
doing
but
it.
tomorrow we will hear more about that story. Roxy, let me ask my last question before if Ohima has anything on Facebook or any other question to follow up on. So, my last question. I know we are almost 4 p.m. We are on from 2 to 4 Eastern time. So my last question, Roxy, is it useful to keep a secret from your spouse? Is it useful to keep a secret from your spouse?
See, now you know I'm totally different. I think that things should be put on the table. Now, a lot of people may disagree with me and say, well, I should be able to keep my secret. You know, it was 85 years ago that this happened, depending on what that secret is.
So all depends on the type of secret, basically.
Yeah, well, because remember, we're talking about relationships and
Yes.
life.
Yes.
How
Mm-hmm.
is this secret going to affect your relationship? You have to make that you know your partner.
Mm-hmm.
You may have to give a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. You may have to give some scenarios. I had somebody tell me, I was trying to think of the illustration they used. They were talking about somebody and they said, one of the husband was cheating on the woman. And the person was calling and saying, I just saw your husband such and such a place and did. And the woman stopped and she said, what would you do if somebody was calling you on a regular basis, telling you about your husband, all the things that they saw and that they were doing?
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, I would tell them I don't want to hear it. And the person said to her, you're that person. Stop telling me that. So sometimes, what I'm saying is this. You begin to know your mate and you know what you can feed them and tell them. You can make up scenarios and it could be hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
That is how you feed that person out. You feel them out. But you don't keep things because sometimes you have things inside of you that you want to tell. And it's really tearing you up inside.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get that out? You may have to give a little bit at a little bit at a time, but it relieves you as well. Trust me, it does. Because if it never came up to your mind, you would never be thinking about it, but it's always on the back that it's playing. And you're wondering, can I tell or can I not?
Oh, okay. So let me ask this. Let me give this an example. If maybe in the past you had several abortions, and in your marriage you can have a baby, do you think it's advisable for you to tell your man why you think it's not making you have babies now?
Well, you know what? That's going to eventually come out because if he ever goes to the doctor with you, they're going to let them know the scar tissue and the things that are there are from
Mm-hmm.
the abortions, and that's not going to be, that is one of the reasons why you cannot conceive. So those things are going to come out. So it's going to be up to you, the woman, to be able to, because I know in being with moms and being a doula and going in labor and delivery, you can find out a lot of things that way. And I can't ask, there are different questions that I'm not allowed to ask and I don't ask. So it's really up to you as to what you're going to do with it, because trust me, that's going to come out if he goes with you and he wants to find out what's going on. That
Okay.
information is going to come out. How do you think he's going to feel when the doctor's telling him and he has no knowledge of that? Especially, I'm not being funny, but especially gyne men. You know, they don't usually go to doctors, they don't get involved with that gynecology stuff. And so what happens, it's a big shock. So it's better for you to talk to them about it
Okay.
and feel them out,
Mm-hmm.
because those things are critical.
Okay.
Go ahead, Nana. I hear you. I see you thinking.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking, but I just want to ask a question related. Is privacy a basic human right, Roxy?
I think it is to a degree, depending. But see, when I see privacy, I think don't come in the bathroom when I'm in there, or
Mm-hmm.
a contractual agreement with something else when I'm signing something.
Mm-hmm.
In marriage, I never really looked at everything as well. This is private. I never thought of that in that way because I never had. First of all, I don't have anything that I'm going to keep from you. If I think you should know it, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
I just hope you can handle whatever it is. I'll
Okay.
give it to you gently or whatever. But I like to talk about things
Mm-hmm.
so that it doesn't come up. I want to know your feelings on it.
Okay. So
I'm
Roxy,
a very open person and outspoken. So if he can't handle it, don't step to me.
all right. So today we are talking about privacy in relationships. So at what stage, if you start dating, right? At what stage in that dating do you have to bring all your secrets, all your privacy on the table?
Dating,
Yes.
I would wait a while because you don't know which way it's going to go. So my thing
A while
is,
means six
we'll
months,
we'll
3 months,
we'll
two
talk
months.
about some superficial things at first, and I'll get a feel for how you can handle things
Mm-hmm.
and how you feel, because we should be talking.
Mm-hmm.
Then you will be able to know. I couldn't put a date on it.
Okay.
I
Okay.
couldn't say 6 months, a year, or whatever. We ain't gonna be dating forever. Remember I told you that I don't do that.
Yeah.
So because it doesn't make sense. But the thing of it is you will feel and you will know. Trust me, you'll know what you can do and how you can proceed in that relationship. You're going to know because these are the things you're looking for, because you're looking for a lifetime partner
Mm-hmm.
if you think about it. So you're going to know when it's time to talk and to tell, and whether or not that person is worthy of knowing
Mm.
what your secrets, what story or what instance you have to tell them. But that's a very deep one, love bug. That I always call everybody love bug. Okay, up top, so that's you, Miss.
Yeah.
What did she tell me to call her, Queen?
Queen.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know that as far as the abortion is concerned, that's a very touchy one because that is going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely going to come out.
So
Okay.
when it comes to we are talking about, I just want to make sure we stay on topic here with the relationship and then the privacy thing. If is it maybe I don't want to tell you my secret because I don't want to be judged or be criticized. Right.
Right.
That is why I'm not going to let you know that secret, or I'll keep certain things private. Am I right to do that if in a relationship? Because I don't want you to judge me. I don't want to feel. I don't want to say
Exactly. The
something to
fear.
the fear of hurting you. That is why I want
But
to do it. So my intention is still good, right? I have good
right.
intention. I don't want to do that to you. I don't want to. I don't want to see you crying because I told you 20 years ago I had a threesome, and because of that you're going to look at me differently. So I'm going to keep that as a secret because of what could happen if I tell you that. Is it right to do that though?
This is the whole thing, that it's not right or wrong, but the way that I would approach it in
Mm-hmm.
getting to know that person,
Getting to
if
know
I
that
was going to
person.
tell them that and that happened,
Okay.
in all honesty, I would do it hypothetically first
Okay.
to see the reaction and use it on someone as it were someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on, and you could even say, can you imagine if that was me? And you got
Yes.
to get a feel. You
Yes.
really have to be smart
Yeah.
in getting these things out. Imagine if that was me
Mm-hmm.
and that happened, and they said, well, I would say, well, was it? And then if they said yes, I said, okay. I mean, I'm just glad that you told me. You understand what I'm saying? Because remember,
Mm-hmm.
in relationships, when people tell you things, no matter how much you're churning inside and it may have shocked you, you still have to assimilate everything that was said to you, but you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to come back like, I'm going to get you. Because, like you said, it was years and years ago, but I just want to be open and honest with you about my life. I don't want this to ever come back to you from someone else. And so both parties have to feel it out. But I think it's important to have these things up front so that Susie doesn't come from Ghana one day and she's coming over and she's so happy to meet you. I just saw Etu at the airport and he's there with his fiance and I'm saying, oh my God, I remember you were so skinny back then. Look at
Mm-hmm.
you now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just different things like that that you really never know what's going to come up. And so it's always good to be honest and open.
Open.
But sometimes you may have to give them a spoonful at a time.
Okay. So Roxy, I got a lot of some of my guy friends when I told them this topic, they wanted to know is it to say or not to say. So if I read it, you can just tell me do they have to say it? Do they have to share that secret or not? You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the first one was he had unprotected sex 20 years ago, and
He
then
had what?
unprotected
Unprotected
sex,
sex
yes,
Okay.
20
20
years
years
ago.
ago, and then he's never tested for STD. Is it a good idea to share that with the spouse?
No, because in 20 years she should have had it by now if she was going to get it, right?
So there's
You understand what I mean? So
yeah,
I wouldn't
you
be
wouldn't share
concerned
that.
about that.
Okay,
Nothing came up.
okay,
I wouldn't be concerned about that one.
okay. So the next one was he went to a casino, spent 1,500 of their money, and then when he came home, the wife asked about it. He didn't talk about it. Is it a good idea to tell the wife that he went to a casino and blew their
Don't
$1,500?
dare tell me I'll kill you.
Was the money for any specific purpose?
Yeah, he took it from their account. The wife asked about it. He's never said what he used the money for. But is it a secret? Can he keep that as a secret? Is it good to tell
Well,
the
you know
husband?
what? 9 times out of 10, the men are the ones who are going to put the money back in. It's going
Okay.
to go back in some kind of way.
Mm.
If it's not hurting the family, and she asked what happened, I would just say, you know what, babe? You know me. I would make some kind of joke and have it in there because it's not going to hurt the family income. If it's going to hurt the family income, then yes.
Okay.
She may have just been asking, as a matter of fact, babe, what happened to that $1,500?
Mm.
Oh, I used it. Now, if she wants to dig and dig and dig, that's fine. He knows his wife. See, and that's the whole point. You know your partner. He probably didn't say anything because she may have been upset.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things you would tell unless she's going to go through the phone
Mm-hmm.
and go through the banking and find out all those things. But if he just withdrew it, it's just going to show a withdrawal, correct? And
Yeah.
it's not hurting anything.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry about
Financially.
that.
Okay. All right. The next one said he got fired from his job, but he came home and told his spouse he quit.
Don't let me find out.
Well, you know what? The thing of it is that
Uh-huh. Is
in
it? Is,
that sense,
mm-hmm.
that may be something that she would really find out.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just come home and say, you know what? Today
Yeah.
was my last day.
Yeah. That's it.
I
So
wouldn't say I got fired. I wouldn't say I left. I'd just say today is my last day. They need to call me before they do these things. And I give them my phone number because I can help them out. But that's what I would say.
Say-
You know what? Today was my last day.
Okay. So would
You
that?
should tell why it is your last day. They just can't tell you that is your last day. So you would have to explain to me why today is your last day.
But see, you want to know too much, and it's not even important in that instance. It's your last day. Okay.
You should
Oh,
know.
this is my last day.
Girl, stop
It
it.
is
I
my
want
last
you to
day.
get a
Period.
husband. Stop. You
Yeah.
want to scare them. Stop. You want to call me later because I need to talk to you.
Or Hima, you need to pick up the phone
No.
and call Roxy. Call Roxy, Miss Love, before you
Okay.
mess up your relationship. Before you end
But
up.
you understand what I mean, though, Nana? It's just certain things that you would say. I would just leave it at that because what it does, let me see what it does, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It really causes a lot of anxiety in the woman. If he were to come home and say, I got fired,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know how she's going to react, and it could really have a bad effect. It could be a lot of anxiety that's caused.
Mm-hmm.
If you say it's my last day, she doesn't look at it as much as fired.
Mm-hmm.
That just sounds like a red siren just going off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he knows that he more than likely will be able to get something else.
Okay.
He knows why he got fired.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know why.
You don't.
How
Okay.
can I help you get something else?
Okay.
I may be really upset,
Mm-hmm.
but I still want to know, okay, well, how can I assist you?
Okay.
Do you
And then
need a resume done? What do you need? Let's get through this.
and then when
After we get through it and we make it right, I may revisit it again,
yeah.
but I'm not going to do it then because he don't need that.
Okay.
He doesn't need that right now.
All right.
He's already gone through that load, and I'm going to pile him up with something else and be screaming and hollering and talking about why did you do this and go. No, it's not necessary.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to sit back and wait for a more opportune time to present things to men,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I learned.
Yeah. All
They're
right.
not
So
like us.
today,
They need that.
so today we are talking to Roxy Johnson, Miss Stress of Love. Mistress of Life, Roxy Johnson has been with Aquaba Radio for almost about 10 years. Roxy has also been with us for about 10 years on and off on Aquaba Radio, but she's always following us and checking us out, making sure we are doing good and staying on track. Thank you very much. Aquaba Radio is 10 years this month. Actually, Monday will be 10 years since we started Aquaba Radio, and I'm very
Yes.
excited about that. 10 years. We've been doing this for 10 years.
Hooray.
Somebody called me today. I say, hey, are you still doing the radio? I say, yes, of course, I'm still doing the radio. It's been 10 years. Yeah,
Wow.
we love it, right? We love being on air. We love to share information. We love to educate our
And
listeners, entertain them,
there
and then inform them. Ahima,
has been a lot of improvements for the past 10 years.
a lot.
Yes, I can see that because I saw a lot of the old works and
Yeah.
we have had a lot of programs,
Yes.
educative programs.
Yes.
We promise we are going to do more for you.
Yes. Indeed.
Okay, we
Indeed.
are going to do more. And Nana, what are we doing for the 10 years? I know we are having a
Oh,
donation
yeah.
in Ghana.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot.
And
We will share all of that. We will share all of that on
okay,
Monday and then
okay.
on Friday on our show. Roxy, my last question on this pop quiz and answer question. My husband is addicted to porn. I know he is addicted to porn. He likes watching pornographic all the time. Is it a good idea for me? Should I keep it as a private, as his own private, or should I bring it for discussion in the relationship?
Listen,
Mm.
that's another show. I promise it
That
is
is
because
another
you
show.
know what?
Yeah.
Pornography, a lot of people think that it spices up the marriage, but in actuality, it destroys relationships.
Mm.
Mhm.
And, you know, you can do research on it, but it really destroys relationships because, like I said, it really is another show, but it's a lot of abnormalities
Mm-hmm.
that are unreachable and unattainable.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen porn, but just, you know, doing reading and research,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never seen anyone who does well after watching it and they just become consumed by it. Because think about it, it's like a drug. You
Okay.
keep watching and watching and watching, but that man that's watching it could never be that man on that screen. And that
Mhm.
woman that he's comparing to could never be that woman that's on the screen either.
Yeah.
So really, it's to me, it's disrespectful to a marriage.
But is
But
it
you
something
know,
if you're addicted or you have a porn habit? Is it something that you have to keep secret in a relationship?
well, I don't know how you could keep that secret. I
Or
think it
it's on
needs
your
something that needs to be talked about.
talked
I don't
about?
think it
Okay.
should be secret. I
Okay.
don't think it should be secret
Okay.
because I don't think it's something that you can keep secret
Mm-hmm.
because it's really like a drug.
Yeah.
So I feel, you know, my heart goes out to those partners who have other partners who are addicted. You know, and like I said, it really is it's a totally different show.
Okay.
But that's just my heartfelt
Yeah.
thought on that.
Okay.
That I think it shouldn't be a secret. It should be something that
You
they
discuss.
should be reaching out for help for. And I
Okay.
just wanted to tell you this. A friend of mine reached out and he's from Barbados and he was listening. He
Mm-hmm.
downloaded everything and he loved the show. So
Good.
that was a far little distance too for a so-called American, but he's not. He's from he's of Asian.
Okay.
So, but I really believe that that is a good topic, and it's a sad situation.
We will add it. We will add it to our topics for discussion on
Yeah,
our
that's what
show.
we want us. I
Very
want us to
sad.
discuss. Now, next week, I want us to talk about sex in relationship.
Sex in relationship. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You said
good.
text in relationship or sex in
Sex.
relationship?
Sex in relationship.
You know, see, I'm gonna leave y'all with this so everybody can have a fib. When I think about somebody dating, I don't think about sex because it's not really a commitment. I did when remember I used to do Afrotainment TV.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
We had a sociologist or psychologist come on, and he says, you know what? When a man is dating a woman and he's having sex with her, there's no commitment. So a woman shouldn't even look for one. He said, once you're married, he was explaining to us how there are body secretions that actually come out of a man because he knows that that is his wife and that she belongs to him. Because when you're dating, you don't belong to that person. So when you're telling me going through phones and all this kind of stuff, you don't belong to him. You're merely dating him. Dating and being in a committed relationship, marriage, is two different things. And I always tell people that when I did relationship show before, I used to do one in Orlando. I didn't talk about sex because to me, sex didn't even come into the component because you can close your eyes and that woman can be anybody you want her to be.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
we didn't even talk about it. I mean, if a man is crazy about you, you don't know. He could be thinking about Beyonce or thinking about Susan down the street or the one he worked with. So you know what? We never talked about sex. We talked about issues in relationships because they're the important things.
Yes, issues.
Okay.